ドジャースが長い10連戦の遠征から戻り、今日からホームでの連戦となったアスレチックスとの初戦、なんと11対1という大差での敗戦となってしまいました。大谷翔平選手も連続試合安打が止まる悔しい結果となってしまいました。試合後の現地放送を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Hello, welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. John Harting alongside James Loney, D-Train, Dontrell Willis. And guys, we talked on the pregame show about sometimes after a really long road trip, you can come home, you're relaxed, sleeping well in your own bed, and you have a bit of a flat tire in that first game, and the Dodgers did a little more than a flat tire tonight. That was a really rough game to watch, James. The Dodgers absolutely punched in the mouth by the A's, who came in with the best road record in all of baseball, and they showed why.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the starter tonight, Springs, the lefty, you know, not really overpowering anyone, but just changing speeds, you know, 6 ground ball outs, 5 all outs. So when you're doing that, you're obviously elevating, you're keeping the ball down, and he got some big outs. You know, we got some runners on base at times, but 0 for 12 runners in scoring position, you know, just not going to get it done.
Absolutely. You're 1,000% right, James. You give up 18 hits to any ball club in the baseball, you're going to lose that game more often than not. And so it's way too much traffic. It wasn't a timely hits that we're used to seeing from this Dodger lineup. They went 0 for 12 in runners in scoring position. That's unacceptable to this lineup. Everybody will agree to that. And so regardless if you're playing the A's or the Yankees or the Padres, when you're not successful with runners in scoring position and you have a lot of quiet outs and you have a lot of traffic, more often than not, this is what's going to translate in that ball game.
Yeah, you mentioned the Dodgers' struggles offensively. The A's were hitting everything hard all night long. Those 18 hits, D-Train, they had 5 home runs in this game, put up 11 runs. And you mentioned, you go 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, it's likely going to be a really long night, and it just was for the Dodgers.
Well, you know what? We talked about it in the pregame show. This is an offense for the Oakland A's. They have a lot of success hitting the long ball. But you see, they had pitches to hit. If you're the Dodgers, you just didn't cash in. And James has been there where it's like, man, I just missed that pitch. And when you do that to a pitcher that's a guy that pitches the contact, it gives them confidence. So the longer the ball game Springs was in, you could tell his mound presence got better. He started to really throw all his pitches, and he stayed out of the heart of the zone. It was a lot of soft contact. When we watch this Dodger lineup, they square up the baseball top to bottom. But you can see by these swings, a lot of ground balls. This is the athletic defense behind them. So I talked about it, and it's kind of my fault. I put this on me because I told JH down in the dugout club, this is a guy where Springs, if he goes through the lineup once and he feels confident, all of a sudden he starts to expand the zone. He's more efficient, and all of a sudden he's in the 5th or 6th inning. He's only got 60, 70 pitches. And so this felt like an Oakland A's ball game the longer it progressed, and that's why they went out victorious.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it nail on the head right there. I mean, those guys were not, you know, getting any pitches really to square up. You saw all the pitches in the highlight. They were on the outside corner. They were on the inside corner, nothing in the heart of plate to drive. I mean, we have good hitters, but it's hard to square up baseballs on the corners. Those are pitchers' pitches, as you know, Dontrell, and those are pitches that you hope to get a hit on sometimes. You may get your singles here and there, but, you know, for the most part, when you're changing speeds like that, it is hard to drive the baseball, and we saw that tonight.
Also, the score got away from you, and I know as a pitcher, we take the responsibility. James, when you go up there and you're down 5, 6 runs, you want to get it all back with one swing, and that's not the probability of that. You want to keep the game intact, so now all of a sudden you have a shot to be able to put some at-bats together, and the Dodgers did not.
Especially against a guy that's not that overpowering, right? So you see this guy, he's throwing low 90s, not really getting up there too much, so you feel like, oh, he's going to give me a pitch to hit, and he really didn't give, you know, the guys a lot of pitches to hit tonight.
And D-Train, you said it on the pregame show, you have a young, talented team like the A's coming in here. This is kind of like their World Series when they come in and play against the defending World Series champions, and they had themselves a really good night. Let's head upstairs, check in one final time with the guys who called this game, Joe Davis and Eric Karros.
Well, not a lot to get excited about today. Homestand begins with a rare blowout loss here, 11-1 to the A's.
Yeah, not the way you want to start things, but you have to tip your cap. The A's were great. They were great on the mound. The youngsters swung the bats well. One of those games. One thing I did like, one thing I got excited about tonight, Michael Conforto.
Yeah.
3 doubles, swung the bat really well, and hopefully a sign of things to come.
And Yamamoto tomorrow, good guy to have follow up a game like this.
Well, that's the thing, too. Tomorrow night is going to be fascinating because we saw the way that the A's swung the bats this evening. They're going against a completely different guy, one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. Going to be a completely different environment at the plate.
All right, Dodgers try to tie this series at a game apiece and continue what is still the best home record in baseball after this 11-1 defeat tonight.
All right, Joe and EK Dodgers will turn the page after this one. A rough Tuesday night here at the Ravine. Let's get to the highlights. It was a good atmosphere before the game. Mookie Betts bobblehead night, and his 2-year-old son, Kai, throwing out the first pitch before this one. A really cool moment right there. Top of the first, Landon Knack on the mound. Tyler Soderstrom strikes out.
Love that fastball to change the eye level. This is a guy that's an impact guy in the lineup. Already has a runner on base. Good pitch up in the zone.
James, he had some wipeout stuff working in this game.
Yeah, stuff was good pretty early. He got to 2 strikes a lot, put some guys away. But obviously we saw later in the game where he just left some pitches out over.
So he strikes out Brent Rooker, and now he gets Shea Langoliers, so he punches out 3 in the first.
We talked about staying out of the middle, especially when you're ahead of the count.
Bottom of the first, Shohei had walked, advanced to second. Will Smith pops it up. And the A's able to make the catch. Dodgers wouldn't score in that first inning.
Yeah, nice play right there at first base and get out of the way. I know that's a tough play for those guys. You know, you're trying to communicate. You're running over your shoulder. Good job for him to get out the way.
Top 2 D-Train. J.J. Bleday strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 second inning for Knack.
See, I got confident. When you're able to throw that type of changeup, that's a wipeout changeup. He's throwing it with conviction. I thought it was going to be a good day for Landon Knack when he possesses that fastball and that changeup.
Michael Conforto coming off a multi-hit game in Arizona. And he kept swinging the bat tonight, James.
Yeah, he had a hot night tonight. I mean, that ball was on the outside corner. For him to be able to get that pitch elevated, a lot of times the pitcher thinks, oh, I can just get a ground ball with that pitch. Great line drive approach tonight by Michael Conforto.
Miguel Rojas, RBI opportunity, but he pops one up.
See, you know what? James talked about it. That's a fastball, middle in, something you should drive, and you get too big. That's how Springs gets out.
Top of the third, Nick Kurtz with 1 away.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of hitting right there. That's, it's a pretty good pitch on the outside corner, but it's elevated, right? When it's elevated, it's easier for the hitter to get up, especially a tall guy like that. Nice hustle right there. We almost got him, but good hustle.
Jacob Wilson, the pride of Thousand Oaks High School. Grew up coming here, and he's got himself a home run.
He's a weapon. If I'm Yamamoto, I'm definitely circling him. He's the catalyst at the top of the lineup. He's hard to get out. He does not strike out, so you got to be able to keep him off the base pass, and he's showing some power early in the lineup.
Yeah, singled in his first at-bat and then a home run. Chris Taylor in the bottom of the third. He has himself a leadoff double.
Yeah, nice to see CT3 getting the bat head out there. There's a lot of times where we've seen some of the bats, and he's kind of late. Nice job to get it out there. Also the second, one of our highlights tonight.
Shohei Ohtani follows. Dodgers didn't have a lot of balls hit well. That one was, but it's right at Lawrence Butler.
You know what? I knew it was going to be off night because any other day, Shohei hits that ball to the people. That's a slider above the belt. Got away with one right there.
Mookie Betts up there on his bobblehead nights. It's not a hit.
Clank, clank, clank.
But he'll take the RBI, the only run the Dodgers would knock in this game.
Yeah, we'll take it right there. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing Wilson did wrong tonight.
Right.
On that play, Mookie's fast. He's trying to charge it.
Will Smith would single, and then Freddie Freeman right back to Jeffrey Springs. Double play.
Yeah, pitchers filled in their position very well, especially getting one of the hottest hitters in baseball out.
Top of the fourth, it's a 2-1 game. Miggy Rowe having a chat with Landon Knack after he fell behind, walked the first batter, fell behind the second batter, but then he gets a 4-6-3 double play.
I love when your teammates come to aid right there and say, hey, man, this is the ball game right here. We believe in you. We have your back. Let's focus and bear down, young man. You're a big leaguer. And so for him to get that, I love seeing that motivation right there.
2 batters later, he strikes out Bleday, 7th strikeout of the game.
Yeah, nice pitch right there. I do like that changeup. It looks like it's going to come right down the middle, fades away from a lefty. Great pitch.
2 outs for Michael Conforto. He goes to the other gap in left center.
When he's locked in, when he's at his best, that left center alley, he wears that out all day long, allows the baseball to travel deep. I love that swing, head down through the baseball. He's got a pretty swing when he's locked in, James.
Yeah, I just like that he can hit the ball to all fields, and he can against lefties. We saw that tonight.
Another 2-out RBI opportunity for Rojas. It's a chopper. Luis Urias throws him out.
Yeah, it's a nice play right there. Mickey runs that ball out about 10 years ago, but that pitch just got in on him. That's what happens though when you get to 2 strikes sometimes.
2-1. This is a big moment in the game. D-Train, a 2-1 game, and Wilson hits another one out. He had 3 career big league homers, and he hit 2 tonight.
But you look at the count right there. It's a 3-1 count. Runners on first base. You have a chance to get a ground ball. He missed up in the zone, and Wilson just beat him to the spot, pulled his hands through, and supplied enough power to get another big home run, and it knocked him out of the game.
So that would be it for Knack, 4 2/3. Here comes Luis Garcia, 2 on for Lawrence Butler. And that one is trouble.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of hitting. I mean, 3-2 count. You're staying away right there, hoping he maybe hits a ground ball to the left side. Just a nice line drive approach and good hustle right there for them to score.
So it scores a run. Dodgers in a big hole now. Bottom of the 6th inning, 6-1, 2 on, nobody out for Andy Pages, but Springs gets the strikeout.
Started expanding the zone. Now you're seeing the score right now. It's 6-1. He says, I'm definitely not going to get beat over the heart. And now the second time and third time through the lineup, you saw him start to feed his changeup, falling off to the arm side. That's a dirty pitch for him.
Just like that, inning over. Top 7, J.P. Fireeisen called back up today with Roki Sasaki going on the IL. Miguel Andujar hits one through the left side.
Andujar can hit. You know, this is a well-balanced lineup. They're scrappy, they run the bases well, and they have some thump up and down that lineup. So every time there's a lull, somebody steps up.
Even when the A's didn't hit it hard, it just seems like everything was dropping in. This is Blade.
Yeah, I mean, not hit hard right there, but the pitch is out over the middle. You got more of a chance to get the barrel on it. So, you know, in a 2-0 count as a hitter in that situation, you probably look for a fastball.
It's 8-1. Conforto in the bottom of the 7th. How about his 3rd double of the night?
You know what? Even in a loss, there's positives. And I think he's a big-time weapon to be able to get going. If he continues to swing the bat like that, he'll be a weapon at the bottom of the lineup.
The Big Show, 2 outs. Pops it up.
He got away with it. He got away with a lot of stuff today against Shohei Ohtani.
Nice catch by Andujar. And Springs gets through 7 innings. Just 1 run allowed. 8th inning, Nick Kurtz was drafted last year. First Major League home run.
Wow, I mean, drafted last year, going oppo like that in Dodger Stadium.
No more minor leagues for these draftees now?
I mean, Oakland, you know, they're trying to get these guys ready. They're trying to get them ready. Not Oakland anymore. Sacramento. But yeah, what a great feeling for him, right? I mean, you know if he's going to get the silent treatment or not. You know, obviously it's not good for our fans, but great for that kid.
This is how bad it was for the Dodgers tonight. Miguel Rojas came in to pitch the 9th inning. And he gets Butler to pop up for out number 1.
I mean, Kike and Miggy Rowe are extended bullpen arms, huh?
Well, then
he humped up right there.
Andujar takes him out.
Yeah, he humped up right there on 65. You know, I think if he throws that 45, that ball stays in the park.
That made it 10-1. Blade.
Oh, no.
That's a no-doubter.
That looked very softball-esque.
All right, I think we've seen enough, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Dodgers lose 11-1.
Yeah.
It's not a lot if you say it fast. Someone told me. They're now 27-15. Landon Knack gave up 5 runs in 4 2/3. He did have 8 strikeouts. Michael Conforto goes 3 for 4 with those 3 doubles. Will Smith, a 3 for 4 night as well. Before the game, Roki Sasaki was placed on the 15-day IL with right shoulder impingement. The rookie right-hander has watched his fastball velocity dip quite a bit since the start of the season. In 8 big league outings, he holds a 4.72 ERA with 24 strikeouts in 34 1/3 innings. In the corresponding move, as we saw him pitch earlier in this game, Dodgers called back a right-handed pitcher, J.P. Fireeisen. And some brighter news. Starting pitching injury front, Clayton Kershaw will make his 2025 season debut Saturday here against the Angels. The 3-time Cy Young Award winner and former MVP underwent knee and toe surgeries last fall. He's made 5 minor league rehab starts, allowed 6 runs in 21 innings, striking out 16. Saturday is the first day that Kershaw is eligible to come off the 60-day IL. All right, let's take a look at what's ahead on the Dodgers calendar. Yoshinobu Yamamoto will get the ball tomorrow night on Star Wars night. And then Roki Sasaki was originally supposed to go on Thursday on Shohei's 50-50 bobblehead night. That starter is now TBD. The Angels are in town this weekend. Next Monday's Vin Scully bobblehead night against the Diamondbacks. All of these games right here on Sportsnet LA. Here's the Arco top-tier stat line. It's Michael Conforto's stat line in this game. D-Train, silver lining in an otherwise ugly loss for the Dodgers. Conforto, 3 for 4 with those 3 doubles.
You know what? He looked quiet on his front foot, allowed the baseball to travel deep. Also, he had an understanding of how they were going to attack him with the slider. I thought he was outstanding being able to cover it and not overswing and roll over and just barrel the baseball.
Well, and he had a couple hits in Arizona on Sunday, and he follows that up with a 3-hit night. James, I think we need to go to the breakdown, the K-zone, to break down Michael Conforto's good night at the plate.
Yeah, let's break it down tonight. You know, not a lot of positives tonight, but Michael Conforto feeling really good up there. And I just like his presence up there, right? Nice, calm, demeanor. And you see right there, first pitch slider. We see that with lefties a lot against lefties, trying to start him with the slider. Another slider right there. Okay, I got you 0-2. As a pitcher, you think you got this guy, right? Just keep it out there. That's a good take right there, right? You're showing him, you know, the pitchers, what am I going to do right here? I'm going to come back with it, see if I can get you. And Michael Conforto's still got the bat head out there. With 2 strikes, a lot of times you're looking fastball away, breaking ball. So when that breaking ball is out over the plate, you can still get that ball out over and still get a good line drive. And, you know, he's got the dance down, too. You know, he's working on getting those doubles.
You know what? That's the one thing when you go to the well one too many times. And I thought that swing kept going with that slider, wanting to stay away from him. And now Conforto understands. He's not going to go in on me. If he does, it's going to be a show. He's going to stay with that slider out over the plate. Now you're how you got the base hit off me. You knew I was going to stay away, away, away. I love that swing. And now he's timing that slider down. And the fastball, not enough velocity to get him off that slider. It's only 92 miles an hour. All he does is barrel it and hit it to left center. That's just called knowledge and good hitting and a really awesome swing as well.
Well, yeah, I think he got Springs thinking that third about, okay, how do I get this guy out? He's on my slider, right? He's on my fastball. It throws a fastball away right there, right? He's like, okay, he's still going the other way. Change up inside. I like that pitch, right? Can I get him off something? Can I get him off my fastball? Another slider, sweeper right there.
We ain't buying that change up in. We're not buying it.
And it sets up away again with the sliders. You know what? If he's going to beat me, let me, you know, make him beat me the other way. And another slider right there out over the plate. Just a great piece of hitting. Michael Conforto, I feel like he just never got too big in like a pull mode.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to wait on this pitch and drive it. And he, you know, he did a great job tonight.
Well, you know what? It's just outstanding because he understands he doesn't have enough velocity to beat me, so I don't have to honor it. But once he makes a mistake with that cement mixer in the heart of the plate, I have to hit it forward, and that's what Michael Conforto did today.
All right, unfortunately, though, the game did not go well for the Dodgers. They fall 11-1 to the A's. Still more to come. Well, this is how bad it was for the Dodgers tonight. The Carl's Jr. moment of the game is not a Dodger. It's Nick Kurtz. A year ago today, he was hitting bombs at Wake Forest. He was in college. Only 32 minor league games later, he's in the show, D-Train, and hit his first big league home run tonight.
Yeah, he's a high-level prospect, a kid with a lot of size. They love his swing path and obviously some power, another weapon in the A's lineup, but I think he's going to do some damage with a swing like that.
Yeah, number 4 overall pick last July by the A's. Let's head back inside and hear from Landon Knack right now with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Landon, I mean, when you look at today's outing, you're able to match your career high in strikeouts, so there are definitely a lot of positives with the swing and miss there. But, of course, they got you on the long balls. What were you seeing, or what do you think allowed just for Wilson to attack you there?
Yeah, I mean, the first one just backed up slider. So, unfortunately, because, I mean, the slider had been feeling pretty good today, and just kind of the first one back up, took advantage of it. And then in the last inning, got behind him a little bit and got that fastball and didn't miss it. And so, I mean, guy's a very good player.
How do you manage that just for yourself personally when there are obviously a lot of positives, but just those really kind of 2 hiccups? And I know you wanted to go a little deeper in this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not efficient tonight, which just a lot of deep counts. And so, I mean, obviously want to go as far into the game as possible, kind of save the pin a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, you try to focus on some of the positive, take some of those from it, and then kind of sit back and see what was I not doing well, what do I need to get better at, and kind of as we move forward, just try to attack that this week.
Go ahead.
What are some of the challenges facing a guy like Wilson, who's like seems like he's be swinging at just about everything up there?
I mean, it's just trying to keep him kind of off a little bit, just a little off timing, try to move him back and forth a little bit. And but I mean, yeah, guy does kind of seem to hit everything. He's a very good player and kind of just got to execute a little better.
Did you know much about him coming in? He's a new player with it. Did you have much of a report on him?
Yeah, I mean, we had a pretty solid report on him overall. I mean, just kind of, I mean, a lot of it was, very good bat-to-ball skills. And, I mean, we had a good thing for him, had a decent amount of data on him, but, just didn't execute against him.
The A's offense overall, beyond just Wilson, 18 hits, 5 homers. What were they doing as an offense, so well from your vantage point?
They were just taking advantage of any mistakes we made, and just guys were just staying on it. I mean, to tip the cap to them, they were swinging it tonight and just took advantage of it.
And Kirsten mentioned the swing and miss. He had 12 swings and misses tonight, career high. Just what has led to that this year, just an uptick in that?
I'd say kind of just now I'm starting to get a little bit more of an uptick. I think early on I really wasn't getting my normal swing and miss. I got a little bit back to my north to south throw, and when I stay in and I stay on it right now, we're starting to get more and more swing and miss, more good results, but it's just kind of staying consistent with it, making sure we're executing and just stick on it.
And you're seeing more changeup this season. Just what's kind of led to the evolution of that pitch for you?
It was kind of something we were working on in the offseason. We kind of had started to change some stuff right before the World Series or right before the postseason last year, and then kind of take it into this year, just kind of have that as an extra weapon. And still got a little bit of fine-tuning to do with it, but, it's been a good pitch for me overall.
All right, Train, some good news for you. The Dodgers did have 11 strikeouts tonight. So tomorrow you can go to Jack in the Box. Get a free Jumbo Jack with the purchase of a large drink only at LA area restaurants tonight. Landon Knack, he carried most of the load. He had 8 of the Dodgers' 11 strikeouts. That's a long Jack in the Box as well. It's a lot of strikeouts tonight. Dodgers fall, though, 11-1 to the Athletics. Let's head inside and hear from the skipper, Dave Roberts.
Ahead of the game, you had mentioned just Roky was dealing with a little bit of smoke there. What really led to the decision to place him on the IL? And what either updates do you have, or what are you expecting him just as IL still?
I think everything that we know is there's an impingement in his shoulder that it's similar to what he had last year. We became aware of this after his last start in Arizona, and from what we gather is he's felt some discomfort for the last few weeks, but given where we're at as a pitching staff, he wanted to continue to go and persevere and fight through everything until he felt that his performance is going to be compromised. And so that's when he let us know where he was at physically. And at that point in time, we wanted to make sure that he was taken care of physically. So we got some scans yesterday, and it showed an impingement in the shoulder. And so with that information, as benign as it is, unfortunately, where he's at, we felt, as we've done with most of our pitchers, potentially all of our pitchers, is err on the side of caution. And so that's why we felt to put him on the IL, let this thing calm down, and build him back to where he is, and he can be 100%, and then get him back out there.
We've seen Landon step up and help out with the rotation. What does this mean just moving forward, whether for him or additional arms and support you might need in rotation with Roky being on the IL?
I think it's just going to give Landon some runway, and I thought there were some strikeouts in there, but in the middle innings, he started getting behind. The pitch count started to get up and made some mistakes.
Sasaki, still kind of has like a kid's body, right? Or on the Sunday side. Are there any things you guys have maybe identified that you could do that could maybe help do that?
It's interesting is, personally for me, just seeing him a couple years ago in the WBC, he looked a little bit more physical, and I don't know. But I don't know exactly the physicality, the weight, but I do know that, getting him offline right now, getting him stronger, getting a foundation, obviously mainly letting his shoulder calm down, so we're not affecting anything going forward. That's kind of the goal. And then if we can do that, then continue to work on the mechanics, because obviously, knowing what we know now, there was certainly some compensation from him, and his delivery was probably compromised. And all of that is because he wanted to compete and help us out. And so there's very few players that are 100% in a major league season. But again, once we got this information, although we appreciate him trying to fight through it, which is great, but we wanted to get some scans to know what we're dealing with. And then what we decided, and talking to Roki as well, is let's put him on the IL and let's get his strength back, let's get his health back, and then go from there. So I don't have a timeline at all.
Does this give him a chance to maybe start over in a sense and get through some of the mechanical things, the overall things that probably with more time you guys would have wanted to sort of do with them?
I think so. And obviously, you know, we didn't know what to expect this year, but to think that he was going to go wire to wire, given his track record and history of innings, probably unrealistic. So this could be that little bit of reprieve in the middle of the season that we can get him back to being healthy, feeling strong and 100%, and, you know, help us get, you know, through the World Series. We don't know yet. It's probably, I think right now it's safe to say it's going to be a bullpen game.
You still have no timeline yet, but the Kopech is also like a similar injury with a 60 days IL. You think it's going to be a little more similar to him, or maybe see if he can come back sooner?
You know what? I don't know exactly, and I don't want to speculate him versus Kopech. We made it very clear to Roki that there's no expectation on timeline. The main thing is that he's healthy, he's strong, his delivery feels good, then he'll pitch for us. So I don't think that any expectation is fair to him.
Dave, as admirable as it is that he wanted to plow on, did you communicate to him, like, you know, geez, you didn't have to do that. You should have said something to us.
We did, but I think that there's just not a player in the big leagues that probably wouldn't do the same thing, and they feel that they can kind of persevere and, as you said, plow on, and appreciating what we're going through as a staff. He wants to contribute, and I respect that. And he's a great teammate. But we're very grateful that with the scans that we took, that it is similar to what he's already been through before, so it's something familiar to him. And so we just feel that with some rest, getting the strength back, getting back to his normal delivery, that he's going to be just fine.
All right, there's Dave Roberts talking about Roki Sasaki going on the injured list with what the Dodgers are calling a shoulder impingement. It's a type of rotator cuff injury, D-Train. It's not a tear, it's not a strain, it's more like bursitis or tendonitis in that shoulder. So they give it a chance to calm down, at least over the next 15 days and probably longer.
Well, you know, first and foremost, I want to just give love to Roki for wanting to battle through that. And there's also a flip side to that coin. He started to have some success in the big league, starting to get to the 5th and the 6th inning. So you're looking at it in a situation where some of your teammates are starting to get hurt. They're starting to struggle a little bit. You're having some success. You're starting to get some rhythm, but you don't feel your best. And this is your first go around in the big leagues. You want to be impactful. So as a young man, I've been through that where my shoulder doesn't feel 100%, but I'm still trying to go out there and compete and show that I care about this ball club and want to win a world championship and be a part of a championship caliber. But at the same time, you have to save us from ourselves. And this is a situation where they have to. You knew that velocity, the tick was down. He was throwing a lot of 93s, 94s. He's not used to pitching like that. So it's very difficult for this young man in the big stage to try to get outs like that. Now, we love his split change. We love his fastball. But the velocity over the last 3 starts was concerning to me. So you knew that he was not 100% as far as how he felt out there. There's a difference between being hurt and going out there and being injured. And so right now, I think he's injured. Scale him back, get his strength, get the throwing program built back up, and really get the confidence built back up so he can be a weapon to go into the postseason.
Yeah, I think you said it great right there, getting the confidence built back up, because, you know, I don't think he wasn't striking out as many guys as he wanted to. He was walking more guys than he'd like to. And when you're not throwing as hard, it's tough in the big leagues to put guys away. You can get to 2 strikes at times, but it's tough to put, you know, big league hitters away. And he's facing the heart of the lineup, right? I mean, guys are on base at times, we saw, and it was just hard for him to put guys away. So I think eventually he's like, you know what, I'm not at my best right now. I'm hurting the team more than I'm helping the team.
All right, so Roki Sasaki was supposed to start Thursday. We heard Dave Roberts say now that's likely a bullpen game. All right, James, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to get the ball tomorrow night. 9th start of the season. Leads the league in ERA. This despite allowing 5 runs in his last start against the Arizona Diamondbacks. What do you want to see from him tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see him attacking the zone. You know, Diamondbacks had a good lineup. You know, they're a lineup that's going to put the ball in play, but you know, he's been really good against lefties. You know, lefties are only hitting 143 off him right now, so attack those lefties, and I think he'll be good tomorrow.
Jay here, must-win game tomorrow. They have to have this game. They have the right man on the mound. Should be a good one tomorrow.
That's right. He's the ace. He's also the stopper, and that's what aces normally do. They stop or prevent losing streaks. Yoshi will try to do that tomorrow. For James, D-Train, and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Pre-game, 6 o'clock here at the stadium.
ドジャースはかなり苦しい敗戦となりましたね。最後はまたもやミゲル・ロハス選手の登板機会となってしまいました。そして佐々木朗希投手が15日期間の IL が発表されました。肘のインピンジメントとのことで、平たく言えば外傷のない痛みとのことです。通常は飲み薬やステロイド注射などで対応すると思いますが、最近の上がらない球速もこれに起因していたのでしょうか。シーズン通して投げ抜いてほしかっただけに非常に残念ですね。早期の復帰よりもまずはしっかり治してほしいと思います。明日は山本由伸投手が登板予定です。前回悔しい登板だっただけに好投を期待しましょう。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。